Hey, this is Anya, and this could be you in 10 minutes.
I feel like I've learned so much. I'm like about to
I
go and
hope so.
like get some mentors.
All right, hold on to your tidy whities because Jasmine's going to give us the most important piece of advice you've ever heard in your entire career or college or life. You're welcome.
I also don't want to, yes, passion law is what I want to do, and that's where I see myself going, but I also don't want to pigeonhole myself so much that I
Exactly.
have tunnel vision and end up
Yeah,
missing out on like another really cool experience. So I definitely try to just hear different perspectives
that
and
makes a lot of sense.
try to
Yeah.
have, they say, have your own personal board of directors.
Hold up, what was that golden nugget she just said?
They say have your own personal board of directors.
Huh. Oh, I like that. Where did you meet all of these mentors?
Yeah, I mean, some of them have been through like formal mentorship programs.
Okay.
So like a Gucci thing. Some have been mentorship that I received from the Fashion Scholarship Fund, which is like a national organization that is trying to help get more students in the fashion industry.
Wow.
And then other mentors are people that I've met through mentors. So like I had one
Oh,
mentor that was at a fashion firm who then said, hey, I have a peer that actually graduated from Harvard Law. He doesn't work as a fashion lawyer, but he could be a good mentor. And he knows how to navigate Harvard. So just
hmm,
like meeting people through people has also been really helpful.
for sure. Yeah, that's huge. I feel like what you said before really stuck with me of like have your own board of directors. Like that's such a good way to think about it. And like even through life, like any decisions, like you said, getting all the perspectives that you can in order to make like a good informed decision.
100%. It's what I try to do. And I know sometimes I don't think it drives him too much crazy, but one of my mentors jokes because every month he hears from me and he's worried that like my plans have drastically changed because every month I'm always like, okay, here's the next thing I'm thinking about, or here's the next thing I want to apply to. I know I'm going to law school, but now I'm also applying to this. So I always have a curveball for him. But I
That's
think
good.
like having a relationship with your mentors so they just understand your personality and knowing how you think about things
Yeah.
um, then makes those decisions productive. And like I really do trust everyone's opinions.
Uh,
And so before I really make any big decision, I'm always like, what are your thoughts on this? Just give it to me straight. And
Yeah.
you can tell me this is a terrible idea. And I've had mentors be like, do not do this.
Really?
And then it's still up to me. But
Right.
like, I really appreciate people being super honest with me.
That's amazing. Yeah, I feel like wow, that's a huge takeaway. I feel like for me and like not only me, but just for anybody else who's like listening is to have, like a good network of people who you can reference and just ask about questions about like anything or like your career and things like that. So
Yeah,
that's
I highly recommend it. Mentorship's really, really important. And even like in this personal board of directors, it doesn't just have to be like people working in the industry. I mean, looking to your peers, like I guess they wouldn't be a formal mentorship like relationship, but like I have peers who are other seniors that like I reach out to when I'm thinking about job offers.
mm,
Um, or even just like an upperclassman who's only a year older, but has a
right.
little bit of insight. Like I think it's really important to just have like an your board of directors can have a range of experiences.
Right.
Uh, but if you've got connections with people, years below you, your same year, and then years above you, I think that's something you would want to carry with you into your future career as well.
Damn. That's so wise. You're so wise. How did you like did you always know this importance of mentorship or was it kind of like you had one mentor and it was like super helpful and then you're like, maybe I should, gather some more people.
I mean, I've always known mentorship is important.
Right.
Um,
Because I feel
but
like a lot of like people like I know mentorship is important, right? But like a lot of people know it but like don't really fully fledge it out as well as you have. So there's kind of that difference.
I think it's hard because like it has to be like a mutual or mutually beneficial relationship, right?
Hmm.
So like yes, I know mentorship's really important. That's the first step. Then finding a mentor can be hard because you might find someone who you think is like super awesome and like they just don't have time to mentor you, or
Right.
like you and them just don't hit it off. Like that
Hmm.
happens too. I've had people that I've wanted to mentor me and then I've just realized like our personalities aren't vibing in a mentorship relationship.
Got you.
And so then it's hard because it's not like dating, but it is a little bit. But you kind of have to like find someone that you
Back
have
and
a good
forth.
repertoire with,
Yeah.
and you have to be willing to think outside the box sometimes, and that takes a lot of time. And then getting a regular like relationship with the mentors, and this is something even I struggle with,
Yeah.
like committing myself to meeting with them on a monthly or bi-monthly or yearly basis. Like that's hard in and of itself when you're really busy. And it's
Right.
really on you as the mentee to like drive the relationship. So
Right.
coming up with then mechanisms of like using, I think sometimes they use followup.me, I think, that after a mentorship meeting, I'll send myself an email that's like, remind me in a month to reach out to them again to schedule our bi-monthly meeting. Like things
Wow.
like that. Or else it's really easy to fall off.
Yeah, no, that's so true. And like you said, I feel like the mentee has to be the one who like drives that. But how do you kind of juggle that being like, okay, like we're gonna meet bi-monthly without seeming too like upfront, you know? And also like because you mentioned that the relationship sort of has to be mutually beneficial in order for them to want to keep going. So like
Mhm.
how do you bring as the mentee something to the table as well?
I think on your first question, I think you can be upfront. Like one of my mentors, I'm straight up like, can I reach back out to you in a month? Or like,
Mhm.
let's sit, or when we're finishing the conversation, I'll be like, tentatively, can we plan to touch base at like 2 months from now? Can I reach back out to you in a couple weeks to schedule time on your calendar for mid-December? Like you can be upfront because they're super busy too. And I
Right.
feel like it's easier if you're just like straight with someone.
Yeah.
Like, can we find time to meet sometime? I'd
Yeah.
really love to like connect. And then you just keep it open ended. And they're like, sure, let's connect.
Yeah.
And they're not going to like, tell you
Like nothing
when.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah. So just being like, can you connect with me in 2 weeks? Do you have dates during the week of October 3rd?
Hmm.
People will just be like, yes, I do. And then you can get something locked down. And in
Amazing.
terms of bringing something to the relationship, I mean, honestly, I don't have the answer for that either. Because sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, why do people still like talk to me and say like a lot when they talk to me? I hope they still want to give me advice. Um, so I guess like having confidence that if someone is willing to invest time in you for some reason or another, they see something in you
Mhm.
and like they want to see you succeed. And so you just need to keep being you and keep coming to the conversations with questions or updates or like something that you're trying to get out of it. And if you keep bringing something from that perspective, these people are invested in you and want to help. But like you do have to come into a mentorship relationship with some sort of goals because it's not their responsibility to like coach you on how
Right.
they can help you.
Yeah.
But if you say, I know you've worked in X capacity, I want to go into X adjacent. When we meet next week, can I ask you questions about XYZ? Like,
Hmm.
and then people will be more than happy to help you.
Damn.
But you
Yeah.
just have to be intentional about
Like you have to know what you want, basically.
it, which is hard because a lot of
It's
times
hard.
college students don't know what we want because we're like
Right.
20 and how are we supposed to know? But
Right.
like, I think, and even people who've reached out to me, reached out to me who have wanted to meet, like it's been most helpful when someone just like says straight up, like, I am at this point in my life, you've done this, can you help me with this? And I'm like, yeah, I can talk all day about this. But when you just send me an email that's like, hey, can we chat? I'm like, sure.
Yeah. We're like about what
Yeah,
specifically?
like I
Yeah.
would sure. Um, but then I can be more intentional in like trying to see how I can help you. So
Hmm.
you do have to kind of know what you want, which is really
Right.
hard. Or go into the relationship saying, I don't know what I want to do with my life, but I know you've worked in tech and tech is interesting to me. Can you help expose me to different opportunities in tech? Like
Amazing.
that's even a place to start.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy. Wow. I feel like I've learned so much. I'm like about to
I
go
hope
and
so.
like get some mentors, you know? Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Jasmine, for chatting with me and really just sharing your experience and your interest in fashion and law and tech. And you seem like I feel like that one word to describe you, if there's so many out of all the words, but would be really intentional, is because I feel like with all the experiences that you've had, whether it be internships or like mentor programs, you really kind of go into it knowing what you want and knowing what you're seeking out of it. And you know, whether that's like a good or a bad thing, like it's still like very valuable information that will help you make the next decision or like where you want to go next. So I feel like that's a huge thing that is definitely super admirable. So I appreciate you sharing your experiences and also your tips on mentorship, because that's really huge as well.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you so much for inviting me. And yeah, hopefully something I said was helpful. I kind of just share what I think
Helping.
I know, but I'm cognizant of the fact that I'm a basically a 21-year-old who could
Right.
possibly telling you all hot air.
No, definitely so many wise things in there. Lots of good tidbits.